What's up, everyone? Back again with another 2-minute drill. That's one full week of trading highlights in the span of 2 minutes. Sorry, I have to do this just to record it. And look to the sky. Yeah, that's the banking sector. It's coming down, and it is still falling as we had another large bank, Credit Suisse, CS in the stock market, get bought out by one of their biggest competitors. Something you don't usually see. Once the competitors saw CS at a discount, they went after it. Last week, we had 2 regional banks get taken over by regulators and the government as they shown weak cash flow and they showed they could not keep up with the depositors' money that were in their bank. Now we have another larger regional bank that has that same concern around it, and that's FRC, First Republic Bank. Last week, we had 5 large banks step in and fund a $30 billion lifeline to try to save the company last week, and it looks like that might not help it as it continues to fall in the stock market, and people are still concerned if they're going to be able to keep up with their depositors' money. Now, how scary is that for you to think you are putting your money into a bank that's holding it, but really they are putting it out and investing it, and they're not doing well with their investment. So now they don't have enough money to come back and give you your deposit if you want to get it all out right now. So with all this banking concern going on, we have Bitcoin now getting a spike. We finally have the separation of Bitcoin from the stock market. Now the market is starting to separate from Bitcoin a bit as we get this banking fear, as people start to see what can happen with your money in a bank if bankings go through troubles. Saw what happened in 2008 and the whole government had to come bail out. So now some of those concerns are coming back up. Not a good sign at all. With that being said, there's alternatives out there to put your money. Gold is one of them. Another one is Bitcoin, and that's why we had Bitcoin get a nice spike, closing almost to $30,000, making new 6-month highs, with Ethereum also crossing over 1,800. We are still battling inflation. With all the bad news going on with the banking sector, there is also bad news that we are still dealing with: inflation. You can see it in your eggs at the grocery store or your milk, and it's getting pretty bad. I think I'm spending around $100 for pretty much nothing at the grocery store now. The Federal Reserve met this week to decide what they're going to do with interest rates and battle inflation, and they decided to raise interest rates up another 0.25%, so 0.25% interest rates for the second time in 2023. Powell seemed like things are going to get worse than he expected when he did start this year saying that things were going to cool down. Now he's saying it's going to be a bumpy road back to where we want inflation to be. That's what happens when you print too much money and hand too much money out. Speaking of handing something out, we brought this up on a 2-minute drill a couple weeks ago, and it looks like it's coming true. Amazon is testing out their Palm payments. They're going to be testing it out in a certain location. One of the big locations they're testing it out is some Panera Breads. So you'll be able to go up to the register and pay with your hand. And it seems to be a hot subject because JP Morgan is now unrevealing that you're going to be able to pay with your hand or your face at certain locations if you don't want to have your card. It seems like we are just getting more convenient and more convenient with everything we do in life. In larger world news, the Russian and Ukrainian war is unfortunately still going on. We had the Russian leader meet up with the Chinese leader to make pancakes, or the Russian pancakes. Pretty weak looking pancakes. Pretty weak looking flip right there. But it's not nice to see them two getting together, especially with everything that Putin's been doing recently. So to see them meet back up, another bad sign for the overall market. So a lot of negative signs hovering over the overall market, and you definitely want to have your defense shields up when you're trading nowadays. But there doesn't mean there's not opportunity out there in the stock market. Larger meme stock that everybody can't forget, GameStop, came back to life a bit, spiking 50% this week after coming out with earnings overnight and surprising people with a profit. Carvanna also surprised people with a profit, spiking 20% overnight. OnCloud is another sneaker. I love the sneakers, tend to use them a lot. My go-to sneaker now that I'm more worried about comfort than looks. OnCloud spiked 30% in the span of a couple days after coming out with earnings, and there were plenty more opportunities out there. We're finding them every week with our team inside the Sniper chat, in our app, or on our website at thestocksnipers.com. You can check us out if you'd like. I'll be here every Friday. Forgot to get the cowbell, but I'll be here every Friday updating you with a full week of trading highlights and current events in the span of about 2 minutes. See you back here next week.